Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Today's topic interference. So interference is the phenomenon in which two waves superimpose to form the resultant wave of lower and higher or same amplitude. The most commonly seen interference is the optical interference or light interference. That this means that light waves coming out of source do not have a constant amplitude, frequency or phase. So two or more waves are combined superimposed to form a resultant wave, that is interference. Conditions for interference of light. So conditions for interference of light, interference pattern ఏర్పడడానికి conditions to obtain permanent interference pattern. The conditions are classified into three parts. So first one, conditions for sustained interference, conditions for observation of the fringes, conditions for good contrast between maxima and minima. So conditions for sustained interference means sustained, this means కాన్స్టెంట్ అంటే స్టేషనరీ టైంతో పాటు చేంజ్ కాకుండా ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ ఏర్పడడానికి కండిషన్స్ ఫర్ సస్టైన్ ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్. నెక్స్ట్ కండిషన్స్ ఫర్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఫ్రింజెస్. సో ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ అనేది ఫ్రింజెస్లోనే ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సో కవుల్ లైన్స్ ఏర్పడవచ్చు, ఎట్లా అయినా ఏర్పడవచ్చు. సో థర్డ్ వన్, కండిషన్స్ ఫర్ గుడ్ కాంట్రాస్ట్ బిట్వీన్ మ్యాక్సిమా అండ్ మినిమా. First one, conditions for sustained interference. Constant interference pattern ఏర్పడడానికి main points. The sources should be coherent. That is, they should vibrate in the same phase. So constant phase difference maintain చేయాలి. That is the coherence. In order to obtain stationary interference pattern, the resultant intensity at any point should be constant with time. So the resultant intensity is I is equals to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos delta. So it is observed that I will be constant provided delta remains constant. The total phase difference delta consists of two factors, delta 1 and delta 2. So delta is equals delta 1 plus delta 2, where delta 1 is the initial phase difference between the two sources and delta 2 is the phase difference at the point. Due to path difference between two waves, as path difference for a particular point remains constant, hence delta 2 remains constant and thus delta will remain constant if delta 1 remains constant. The two sources must emit continuous waves of the same wavelength and time period. The two sources must emit continuous waves of the same wavelength and time period. If the sources do not emit light of the same period, the intensity at any point will be alternately maximum and minimum. So and hence the interference will not sustained. So interference. So according to the figure, so here two sources screen, two sources emit interference superimposed to form the resultant wave. So sources నుంచి ఇక్కడ డయాగ్రామ్ ప్రకారం సోర్సెస్ నుంచి ఎమిట్ అయిన లైట్ వేవ్స్ అనేవి దే ఆర్ ఇంటర్ఫేర్ two waves are superimposed. So superimposed to form resultant wave of lower, higher or same amplitude. The most commonly seen interference, generally common interference is the optical interference. Optical interference or light interference. This means that light waves coming out of the source do not have a constant amplitude, frequency or phase. So the most commonly seen interference, optical interference or light interference. సో సింప్లీ ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్ అంటే టూ వేవ్స్ సూపర్ ఇంపోజ్ టు ఫార్మ్ రిజల్టెంట్ వేవ్. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంటర్ఫియరెన్స్.